Hello, how's everybody? Today I'm going to do a comment. Someone sent me a comment and I really would like to answer it. The person is not familiar with the Jehovah Witnesses, so that's, I'm really happy to do this comment. I'm glad that she comes to my station, and I'm going to answer to the best of my ability. I want to say that I also have another one that I'm going to do pretty soon. I've been going over it for like about a week. I usually like to say things about what's to look forward to, and the background on this one. Excuse me. The background on this one is that when I was a Jehovah Witness, I couldn't like read. When I'm saying I couldn't read, I mean I didn't find any pleasure in reading their literature. I mean, I was Jehovah Witness, and I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't even think that something was wrong. I just know, after I left Jehovah Witnesses, I noticed that, I don't remember any of their material because I couldn't read anything. Nothing really. Even I gave Bible studies with the Paradise Book or something, and I guess I have more than one Bible study, but things did not meet each other like connections, and that's one reason why I didn't like reading there. It wasn't like adding on knowledge, and I always studied all the time in my whole life. That's where I got this whole excuse me YouTube channel. I'm so sorry. I got this whole YouTube channel. It's from the things I learned because I study all the time. But when I used to read the Jehovah Witness, it didn't add to my knowledge. So anyway, on this YouTube that someone suggested that I go to, it's about the Watchtower and Awake. They go over the Watchtower and Awake. So I want to see now. I will be able to see why I had no interest in their literature, even though I was Jehovah's Witness. I would fake it all the time, like my friends and everybody else. So now I'm getting into this comment. I wrote it down. So I wrote it down real fast. So I'm going to see if I can read it back, okay? The Jehovah's Witnesses are not into improving themselves. So how can the Jehovah's Witnesses do okay when they think that their life is going to end any day now and can't get a job that can meet their average daily expenses, including a nice vacation time for the family, plus no future life plans with financial savings? Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to read it and then I'll break some things down. Like I said, with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and ex-Jehovah's Witnesses should know this, or they should make a point of this, is that when you go back to Jehovah's Witness, like I said, I've been going back to the boxes. Everything is going to be fuzzy because it's fuzzy. That's the way their life. That's the way it is. You have things going, and then it cuts off, and that's just the way it is. Okay, because they say do this, and that's it. It doesn't connect to anything else, and then. That's why we have so many boxes. What I feel we have so many boxes I did is because things don't connect, So if things don't connect, you just end up making boxes. That's the best way to put it. So when I talk about them, it's kind of broken because they have this point and then that's it. And then there's another point and that's it. And then there's another point. Like, for instance, they don't believe in life after death. When you die, you just die. But yet, they they talk about Jesus. Now, if they talk about Jesus, that was the whole main point. So you can't connect both of them because, okay, you don't live forever, even though Jesus said that this and this and that. But the thing about it is, it doesn't connect. So that's why the language is fuzzy, like I put in the last one. Okay, so, and that's dangerous because it takes, the reason why I said it was dangerous in the last video is because no matter what, I mean, even when you come out and you believe in God and you can listen, you try and listen to him, but still and yet, you have to educate yourself no matter what. I mean, you can say you believe in God and that's great, but you have a life to live. So that means your life includes doing a lot of things with other people. So you have to understand other people. You have to understand how to do things and how the world works really. So if you're a Jehovah's Witness, and then all of a sudden things change, whether you believe in God or not, you still have to learn. You still have to obtain knowledge about a lot of things about yourself. You know, that's where the danger is because it takes time. So I just put that out there. But let me go over this now. So now we're gonna break it apart. As far as being okay, how do they make it? As far as improving themselves. Okay, now in improving themselves, they just think about what they need for now to survive. I mean, I'm not talking about menial, like poor survive, but there are a lot of poor Jehovah's Witnesses. But what I'm saying is they don't think about like going from poor, I mean like going from, just say, yeah, poor to middle class or middle class to upper middle class. There are some Jehovah's Witnesses who are not middle class, okay? They're upper middle class, are rich. Some of them are rich. A lot of them are rich. Because I was in the congregation. I mean, I went through a lot of congregations. I know a lot of people, and I have a family members, a lot of family members, and a lot of cousins that were Jehovah's Witnesses. And some of the congregations have wealthy people, you know. And the thing about that, so we're talking about improving themselves. Even my brother, his his father-in-law bought him and his wife a house. Okay, and I think he had a business, and I had an ex-wife who, I guess she got 2 bakeries, and now she only has 1. But I'm saying that's just the bare minimum. I mean, it's just like, okay, do that, but don't overextend yourself. Like, no improving, okay? So to answer the question is, they don't think about improving themselves. When I say improve themselves, it's just like what you have, you just pretty much stay there, okay? So that's how they make it, because they just make it. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that, as far as education too, they don't believe, for the most part, to go to college and better themselves. So it just doesn't happen. I mean, they think about, like I said, there's wealthy ones, and they supply a lot of jobs for the brothers and sisters in their congregation and other congregations, and they can trust them. Okay, so that's a benefit for those who are wealthy, because they get employees. I know. Okay, I worked for a lot of them. My brother worked for only the Jehovah Witnesses. And they don't think about improving themselves, but they just deal with what they have. So it's a benefit as far as the wealthy is concerned, because they get employees. However, the bad part about it is that if you're working for a Jehovah's Witness and you're in that system, some of them you cannot leave. You can't just up and go. Okay, you will lose everything with the Jehovah Witness, because when they say do something, when they say don't talk, like I said, it's just, even I did it. It's like when they say don't talk to somebody, that's just it. It's just cut off. It's no thinking. Okay, and that's why I had to say in some of the kind of form my language to say that, okay, you're not saying that they're the bad, okay? Although, I think it's pretty sick, but because they don't think further. It's just like, don't talk to these people, okay? So pretty much you'll lose if you're working for them. So like I'm saying, they don't really have to improve, because, I mean, even in the world, and like I said, I'm just talking about the world as a human being, not their world. You can pretty much get by just, not improving. But I just want to stress this, is that because they think it's materialistic, but it's not. Because I can pretty much believe that 60% of businesses, a lot of them just people who really like to work. They like to have nice things, but they don't really get to enjoy everything that they make. I mean, I mean, they have to have employees. They're really helping out society because they have to have employees. Hopefully, they treat their employees nicely. They're helping out society, and not everybody who is wealthy or who supplies jobs are bad people. But as far as a Jehovah Witness, they feel that overextending yourself is like being materialistic, which is not true for everybody, for most people. So how did they make it? I mean, when they don't improve themselves, they just pretty much, how can I say? They don't have to improve themselves. So I guess that would be the answer. It's like they don't have to improve themselves because they're going to get a job, because they have people in the organization that will help you get a job. Okay. If you want a job, you'll get a job. Okay. Because there's so many people in the organization. Like I said, there's wealthy, there's people who have businesses. My brother worked, when I was a Jehovah's Witness, he worked for companies that were owned by Jehovah's Witnesses. But like I said, the companies don't think about like thousands of stores. Oh, let's get all these stores and let's do all this and all this. From what I heard, my brother had a spa, but that was just it. And I don't think that he would think about, let's get 5 spas. I want a spa in every state. No. So that's how they do it. It's just done like that. And like I answered another question, because of the jobs, they get the jobs in the organization. Even if you're in a poor congregation, where most of the brothers and sisters are poor, which they have a lot of them like that, they can talk to an elder, and the elder can help, find you a job. Even some of the brothers who, I guess I can say the ex-brothers and sisters, we're ex-Jehovah Witnesses, and I can say ex-brothers and sisters. If they have like a high-paying job, or if they need somebody in their, if the boss says, "Oh, can you find us an employee?" Yes, they'd be able to find anybody who is a Jehovah's Witness a job. So they don't have to worry about that as far as self-improvement, because they can work. Okay. So let me see. Average expenses. So that's what I mean. They take care of business as far as that's concerned. As far as future plans, like I said, they always think the world is coming to an end. But the major thing is the new system. They all think about the new system. They don't know anything about how the new system is going to work. I thought about it even when I was young. How would there be a new system? I mean, they think of it as being with the lions and tigers in your park, and I'm not going to get into it because I went over that before. But it's not logical. It's not. It has no connection. Again, it's just cut. It's just like the new system. You get whatever you want, and that's it. You know, like you don't have to do anything. And a lot of things in the Jehovah Witness is like automatic. You think everything is automatic. It's like Armageddon comes, it's automatic. Okay, they don't. There's a reason that it has to be like, you know, like how does you get to Armageddon? At least some religions go like, okay, well, it's gonna happen. We don't know how. Okay, them it's just automatic. It happens. They get saved, and then they get into the new system without any problems, okay? Because they're Jehovah Witnesses. So it's not really logical. So they think about that all the time. So they pretty much just plan for what they need. Like I have family members who just, you know, they get a house. And that's pretty much it. And they have savings. They do save for themselves, okay? There's some crazies, like my stepfather who quit his job when he was 40 years ago, okay? And which caused problems, but I'm almost sure he knew that my sisters, because they had houses, they had bought houses, and they had nice jobs. So I'm pretty much sure he thought that they would help him, you know what I mean? But he wanted to be a pioneer, but it didn't last that long, you know what I mean? And he told me that, like I already stressed it, so I don't go into details. Usually I don't go into details about something I went into details about. So there's a YouTube about him. But the thing about it is that most of them just are very like level-headed. It's like, okay, I have to have a house to live, and they buy a house. I have brothers and sisters who bought a house, and that's just it. You know what I mean? And they have their savings, and they know that they know that they have to plan so that they continue to be a Jehovah Witness, which costs money. So they think about that, you know. Like, how am I going to buy my books? You need a car for transportation. And they know that those are things that they need in the future and the past. Okay, so they wouldn't plan for luxury vacations and things like that at the end. So it's pretty much not improving, like you said in the beginning. It's just staying where you are and planning for your life to be the same. Now, what I want to say, I went over that question. Now I'm going to put in how being a Jehovah Witness, how they're helped by God, because God helps everybody, but they can't hear him. That's the whole big deal. That's why there's ex-Jehovah Witnesses, because a lot of ex-Jehovah Witnesses help the Jehovah Witnesses. They listen to you on YouTube. I know that. I know they come to my station all the time, and they get help. Okay? Who runs ex-Jehovah Witness? I'm sure that God set up the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. I mean, he does things like that. I mean, he know I would not be here. I mean, I wouldn't be as strong as I was if it wasn't for the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. And I know that that's the way that God helps people. He has a great effect. I mean, he can make things happen, okay? Like that. And it's so organized and things like that. But as a Jehovah's Witness, you can't really hear God, okay? Yes, he wants to help those people who want help and who believes in him. Like I said, my sister, she believed that God, that she's following God, but she's not. But still, God is probably with her. I mean, I'm saying that he wants to help her, but it's up to her to accept his help, you know? I mean, she has to, that's the one thing, you have to accept, you have to listen to God. I mean, because you have to do something to get help. Okay, like if I say, how can I say this? I just want a very nice job and a nice place to live, which is nothing wrong with it, because I want to have a happy life and I want to have a family. Okay, but you just can't say that you want that, okay? Which is nothing wrong with it. But what I'm saying is you have to do something. First of all, you have to listen. And you have to know how God works, okay? And they don't know how he works. I know, I was there. Just not, and I went through all the congregations and all the friends. And not one time can I remember that we had a conversation about God. And they're Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, what I'm saying, they're saying that they're God's witnesses. No, they're Jehovah's Witness, whoever Jehovah is, okay? But it's not God, okay? And just one thing I want to say too, I did make a mistake. When I say Jehovah, it is a mistake because I prayed about it. And yes, it is a mistake. I say it because I've been saying it for so long. Not just that, but there's still a lot of bad things in the world. And now when I say it, I apologize, or I make a prayer about, oh wow, I said that. You know what I mean? Because I know, if you look at my tapes when I was living in my brother's house a long time ago, my tapes in the beginning, and I did call it Jehovah, and it wasn't God, because God got me out of that place. So it was totally something different. So now when I say it, and I have said it, and I said, oh, and now I would say to myself, oh no, I really meant God, but no, I made a mistake. I just want to say that I did make a mistake, and say, when I make a mistake and I say Jehovah, that means it's a mistake, because I prayed about it. And yes, he says it. I mean, by the way, you do your prayers and everything, it is a mistake. Because I know how I talk to him, and I know how I refer to God as God. Okay. So now I know, and that's why I'm trying to get their language, because their language is like fuzzy and it's like connected in so many different ways. Sometimes you want to say truth, and it's kind of, so anyway, so that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, God is there, but I would say from my point of view, I always knew that there was something else, but I couldn't hear. I can't hear God because they're blinding me all the time. Excuse me. But that's the funny thing, is when I left the religion, how I left it, really, to be honest with you, I don't know how, and I don't really know why. But I know now it's because he got me out. Because I listened to him. I mean, I learned to listen to him. His very light voice. And I think little by little, he got me out. I know at the judicial meeting, he was like, okay, we got you here. We just got to get you across the finish line. If you see the video with my judicial meeting, and when he got me there, he was like, okay, now let's get out of here, So I'm sure he tries to talk to my sister, and he tries to talk to the ones that he knows that would listen to them if they weren't blinded. But like I said, everybody has their right of, has their own free will. So, it's like somebody trying to help you, and you don't know that they're trying to help you. Sometimes you're even against them, and you say, wait, this person was trying to help me. So it's more something like that. So yes, to answer the biggest part of your question, God is always trying to help everybody, and God is trying to help the Jehovah Witnesses. The major thing that the ex-Jehovah Witnesses are trying to do is trying to get them to listen to God. Not to listen to them, it's to listen to God, and show them that they're being blinded, and that that they don't have a Bible. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's all just deceiving, okay, with all of their meetings and all the time you have to spend, it's just deceiving. But yes, God is with them. So it's, how do they survive? Yes, the biggest part is that God is trying to help everyone, and that's really the big deal of how they survive, because they do listen. I mean, they don't listen. Like I said, I was in the religion, and I didn't know what it was, but I know that there was something else there that would help me. Okay, so that's how God is. I mean, He knows that they're in a very bad situation, and He's still there trying to help them, because he helped me. And then if He helps them, and then just saying, well, if I help them, then they can, maybe some of them leave, like the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. We made it out. I don't think we all would have made it out, not with the problems that you have to go through, if it wasn't for God. But He got us out. Some of them are easy for Him to get out. Some of them are hard for Him to get out. Some of them, like I said, I'm almost sure my sister has a good heart. I mean, but if, no, I can't do this. No, and He's sitting there just like, she's saying like, no, you know what I mean? And it's like, look at this, you know what I mean? Look at that flower, or look at that tree, or look at this, or look at that. And they go, no, I have to do it. It's like my sister, like when she told me, I go, she told me, I'm going to stay with Jehovah. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's like, just still blinded. So that's the answer to the question. So God helps everybody. I think the major help that they get is from God. The best way that He can help them. But they're being blinded, so that really stunts their mind and everything. He can't bring in knowledge to them, because they're using the knowledge of the governing body. So that's the predicament that they're in. Anyway, I hope that answers the question, and thank you very much. And I enjoyed this, and I enjoy all my ones. And the next one I'm going to be in, it's like I'm going to listen to that YouTube about the Watchtower, and I want to see now, with the knowledge I have, and to see what was it that I couldn't read. Why couldn't I find anything interesting? So thank you very much. Talk to you next time, and thanks for coming to visit me. Bye.